Imagine being told in your early 30s that your bones are already thinning. That was my reality, and to be honest, it made me feel like my body was failing me. But luckily, I was in the right job to turn that into a bit of a mission, to turn it around. So today I'm going to share with you 5 top habits that helped me reverse my osteopenia and rebuild my bone density. Now these 5 habits, they're not boring chores that are going to feel like a hassle. They are genuine acts of self-care that you can fit into everyday life. They've helped me future-proof my body within a matter of a few years, and they can do the same for you. Hi, I'm Sally. I'm a coach and nutritionist. I've worked for the last 15 years with women in midlife and perimenopause. I've also been through early menopause myself, so I know that feeling of overwhelm when you start to lose touch with your body and worry about things like osteoporosis. It's my job to help women use exercise and nutrition as self-care without it taking over their life, but enough to future-proof their bodies and allow them to say yes to more adventures and have more fun without their bodies holding them back. So let's get into those 5 strategies that helped me reverse my bone loss. First up, calcium. Now, calcium is obviously the raw material for your bones, so it might feel like it's a blatantly obvious one. But the key for me with calcium was to make sure that my diet was rich in calcium. So thinking things like dairy products and leafy green vegetables. Now you can get calcium supplements, but some calcium supplements are so high they actually stop you absorbing other nutrients from multivitamins or even your food. So all the research shows that even just a glass of milk every day is enough. It's enough calcium when it's combined with the other nutritional strategies I'm about to talk about. So for me, I just got into the habit of having a glass of milk every night before bed. Now, I am lactose intolerant, so for me that was lactose-free cow's milk. If you are vegan or dairy-free, you can change that to a plant-based alternative. Just make sure it's fortified with calcium. It should be. So actually, most milks now, whether they're plant-based or dairy-based, still have a similar level of calcium in them. Double check the label and you should be good to go. Second one is vitamin D. Now, calcium's great, but the way that our body absorbs it is to use vitamin D. Now, vitamin D comes from the sun, so if you live in the UK, like me, where sunshine is not always available, it's worth taking a supplement. So the supplement you're looking for is vitamin D3. You can just take a tablet once a day. If you're out in the sunshine as well and getting too much of it, your body will just secrete anything in extra. So you don't need to worry about having too much, but it is well worth taking that supplement so that you know your body is using all the available calcium that it has. So those are your 2 nutritional foundations. Next, let's look at movement. Now, number 3 is daily movement that's weight bearing. So that basically means anything where you're fighting against gravity. So it could be something like Pilates or yoga. That would be enough to get your body working against gravity and at the very best maintain your muscle mass and your bone density. The one for me, the best weight bearing movement for me was walking. Now, I'm lucky because I have a dog and I love spending time with him. So that is just a non-negotiable part of my day. I have to get that dog out every day for around an hour's walk. This sort of gentle but consistent load signal tells your body to keep the bone density that it has. Now, when I had my DEXA scan to check my bone density levels, my hip score was way higher than my lower back score. And I put that down to walking every single day. Not only is it great for your bone density and your overall fitness, it's also just great for your mental health. Just to be out in the fresh air, moving as much as you can. The fourth one is your most potent stimulus for bone growth. That is strength training. So some sort of resistance training, ideally with weights. You could start body weight and build up your confidence, but to progressively overload your body and your muscle mass. If you work through a progressive strength training program that gradually loads up your body, you will improve both your muscle mass and your bone density. And we need both of those things, especially as we get older. All the research shows that just accumulating 60 minutes a week of resistance training is enough to stimulate muscle mass growth and bone density growth. Now for me, I chose to split that into a few sessions a week. So I aimed to train 3 times a week for around half an hour. You could do 10 minutes every day. You could do 1 session of 60 minutes. I chose to split it up over a few so that I could stimulate my bone growth more regularly each week. But all the research shows just accumulating 60 minutes per week is enough to stimulate that bone growth. It doesn't need to be complicated. It doesn't need to be super hard work. We just need to make sure we're gradually making you stronger. Now, the 5th and final one for me was HRT. So I took hormone replacement treatment because I knew that the cause of my bone loss was a reduction in estrogen. And that is generally the case for most women in perimenopause and menopause. Our estrogen levels start to reduce, and that is a key indicator of our bone density. So if you can take HRT, which not everybody can, but if you speak to your doctor and find out that you can, that can be a key part of this puzzle. Now, if you can't take it or you don't want to take it, doesn't mean the other 4 things I've spoken about are useless. You can still improve your bone density without adding in a hormone treatment. It's a personal choice, but for me, it was an extra piece of the puzzle that sped things up. Okay, I hope that's been helpful. If you found it helpful, please give it a like or subscribe to see more videos like this so that I can get this message across to more women who need it. If you take a look at the links in the description, there are some free downloads in there. So if you want to learn a bit more about perimenopause, a bit more about strength training, and whether you're starting from scratch or you need a progressive program, there are some free downloads in that description that hopefully should help you. Feel free to reach out to me anytime you have any questions, and I'll hopefully see you soon.